Hey, I'm Ryan Cruz, and this is Get Your Mind Right. Today's video is going to be dedicated to all the women out there that are settling, that are suffering in relationships with men who have erectile dysfunction due to them watching too much porn and masturbating to this pornography. So what made me want to do this topic is because so many women are settling for relationships like this. Even myself have been in a relationship with someone who had erectile dysfunction, and it was due to watching too much pornography. And I didn't stay in it for too long, yet I would say me even thinking or accepting that, I should have just totally walked away from that because that wasn't healthy for me whatsoever. So many different stories I hear from people and how like women turn around and really internalize their spouse having this dysfunction and how much their spouse, it's almost like they get to the point where they're just okay with them having this type of issues going on, and they're just like, you either going to accept it or you're not. And a lot of women who are afraid of walking away or afraid of being alone tend to stay in these type of situations, these relationships, and they're just hurting themselves in the long run. So I want to first start off with what is the definition of erectile dysfunction. It's very simple, very clear. It is the inability to get or keep an erection firm enough to have sexual intercourse. It's sometimes referred to as impotence, although this term is no longer is used. So some symptoms of it is soft erections, trouble getting an erection, trouble maintaining an erection, or anxiety. And I will say in my instance, when I've dealt with a guy who had these issues, you know, he knew he had these problems going on, and his only ploy for it was basically to put on a penis ring. So when I first experienced this situation, I'm all being all like Mother Teresa, just saying, oh, don't worry about it, you know, we'll figure this out. And so my first thought was that I didn't think it was porn. I thought it was really his job, the type of work that he did. And then when we would talk and I would hear some of the self-depreciation humor that he would use, it sounded like somebody that was just angry that ended up just accepting their life. And when we would have intercourse, sometimes it would last for so long. And it wasn't due to, you know, we having a good time. It was due to this person cannot get off. And I could say one thing about me, I know I didn't internalize that, but I know there's a lot of women who wouldn't have walked away the way that I was able to walk away, with resilience, being strong, and knowing that that wasn't my fault. That was his problem, and he probably don't even really care to solve it. And so continuing with my experience with that, you know, it even got to the point where I was like, I brought him a subliminal. So if you know what subliminals are, if you don't, you could look it up, but a little short brief. And it's just something that you could listen to that basically could reprogram you and help whatever issues you have in life. They really do work, so I definitely recommend them. But, you know, I even brought him like a erectile dysfunctional type of subliminal. Yes, they do have stuff like that out there. And, you know, just days would go by and I'm just thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? You know, this guy does not appreciate that. He's not thinking to himself, you know, this beautiful young woman could be with anybody else. Why is she settling for you? Yes, that's what he's thinking. He's thinking, why is she settling for that? And me settling for something like that, that did not get me no brownie points. God didn't look down on me and say, oh my God, Ryan, thank you so much. You helped in society. You win an award. No one's patting me on the back for that. If anything, people are looking like, you a fool. You dealing with a real addict. It's just not drugs or alcohol. It's pornography. And I really believe that's one of the most worst addictions to have, for the fact is it's so accessible. It's so accessible to pop up porn on your phone. So I wanted to talk about an article I read. It is called, Does Porn Contribute to ED? Now, there's a lot of people on the internet really arguing that porn does not have no connection to erectile dysfunction, yada, yada, yada. Now, remember, there's other things that lead up to erectile dysfunction. It really could be work, you know, childhood trauma, stuff like that. Those are So that's different. We're talking about porn leading contribute to ED for certain people, and that's probably for a lot of people. So the author of the article, does porn contribute to ED? His name is Tyger Latham, and you know, one of the people that he speaks upon name is Gary Wilson, and he's an anatomy and a physiology teacher. And so Gary Wilson explains that there is a detrimental feedback loop that can emerge between the brain and the penis when men rely heavily on pornographic images to masturbate. So basically a man, when he really is doing this on a consistent basis, is really programming a mind, creating systems in his brain, right? That's making him become more and more addicted to the pornography viewing. That's crazy. Wilson also states it's easy to overstimulate your brain. Specifically, overstimulation brought on by viewing pornography can produce neurological changes, specifically decreasing sensitivity to the pleasure-seeking neurotransmitter dopamine, which can desensitize a person to actual sexual encounters with a partner. These neurochemical changes not only contribute to a person becoming addicted, didn't I just say you creating these symptoms in your head to become addicted to pornography, but they can also make it incredibly difficult to abstain from viewing pornographic images. That's crazy. So finding out your partner has erectile dysfunction and it's due to watching pornography, due to them masturbating so much to pornography, I don't recommend nobody accepting something like that. If they have ED due to work, maybe some past childhood trauma, that's something that you could probably work with them with, and maybe them themselves will actually want to go to the doctor and, you know, talk to a therapist or something like that. But if it's for ED, for pornography, no, I would not waste my time at all with that. It's not cute and you don't benefit from it. So another symptom of this of ED with a man is taking too long to orgasm. Like I stated earlier, that was something that I experienced with an old partner of mine, because like I said, we will be doing it for hours to the point where I'm like, I'm done. I don't have no more left in me. You are with a soft erection, but your mind is thinking you ready, but that down there is not. And I remember one time I joked to this person, I said, if you stop watching so much porn and masturbating, then maybe you would be energized. And you know, when I said that, I was really joking and I really had a big laugh on my face. But a couple weeks after, when I thought about when we stopped seeing each other, I said, you know, he never stopped me on that. He never checked me on that. So obviously, this person, they didn't care. It was just so much of, if you're going to accept it, dear, that's what you're going to accept, Ryan. And I don't care what you decide to do behind it. Walk away, because that's the smartest thing I could have done. Now, I was reading on the internet and I was seeing, like, how do some women feel due to their spouse having ED and it being based on pornography. And some women felt unattracted, not good enough for their partner. They felt like their spouse was choosing another woman over them, even though it may feel like, well, it's a TV, like, why would they think that? Women do feel like that. A lot of women felt shamed because, you know, that's pretty embarrassing to know, or to be in a situation where your partner is really addicted to pornography. And a lot of them felt frustrated. They felt not sexually satisfied. And that's something that I felt, because I felt as though, you know, yes, this is a long time of us having intercourse, but it is so long that I'm not even being sexually satisfied. What is going on here? Now, some of the comments I was reading on the internet from people who, like, from when women would talk about their issues, they get, so many people are giving these women slack. It's ridiculous. So you got some comments on the internet about people. A woman wrote in, she was saying that, you know, she's starting to notice her husband is becoming addicted to porn. You have people commenting saying, I hate to break the news to you, but every man I have ever met watches porn. It is a normal male behavior. I hate to break the news to you. All women like to go shopping. Give them their wallet so they can go shopping. Really? All women like fancy, expensive perfumes. Buy them that because that's what we like. That's a woman's nature. Really? You should probably change your attitude towards porn. It's safe, awesome, and quickly does the trick for guys who need to get off. Is that what you're saying as a man about yourself? That you just a sex bot? That you just walk around just, oh, where can I get off at? Help me. Is that how, what? Listen, this is the killer one. Who cares if you are beautiful? If you're not physically available, slam dunk male logic. So you got a boyfriend, y'all don't live together. You guys go on a date Monday, have intercourse. You're not free again to see him until next week. His logic of why he's continuing to watch the porn because he can't wait a week to see you. Whew. That was pretty crazy. Those comments was really off the hook. And you know, to be honest, it's so many people who genuinely believe that, watching porn, making porn watching a part of their daily life is really something that's legit, and it really should be a part of everyone's life. So I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm going to continue on another video about the erectile dysfunction and pornography and how it's just not cool and why women need to get out of relationships immediately with men like this. So stay tuned. It's going to be another video coming right up about to continue this topic going. Get out of a relationship that you're with a man who got ED and is due to pornography. Get out of it.